All right, guys, up next on the Hooligans podcast, we have to talk about why do teachers have to supply their own materials, bro? This is a really good conversation. Um, Check this out.
We don't ask pilots to pay for airplane fuel. We don't ask cops to pay for guns, bullets, or handcuffs. And we don't ask doctors or nurses to pay for medical or surgical equipment. So then why is it okay to ask teachers to supply their own classrooms? I will always say that teaching is one of the most important roles within our society, and yet we provide them little to no resources to effectively do their job and to educate one of the most important populations within our communities, which are young people. Everyone is always talking about legacy this and legacy that, but real legacy lies in teaching our children to be able to properly participate in society. That means giving them a high quality, accessible education from birth. But in America, they want you to birth children, but all of the resources you need in order to develop and educate a well established child.
Save Our Blue World says society takes advantage of teachers because most of them are women. That's crazy, bro. As long as they're just, let's see.
Are few and far in between. Too many teachers are drowning in debt trying to provide a high quality education to students, which is not their sole responsibility. It is our collective responsibility as a society. Many teachers are also drowning in debt because salaries are so low, and the vast majority of them are living in cities where they can barely afford to get by. Why is this important? Because how can you expect teachers to inspire the next generation of thinkers and doers and teachers if they themselves can barely afford to keep food on the table and keep their lights on? And they're expected to provide supplies for their classroom? Like, make it make sense.
Yeah, I never really was down with that. Like, the teachers have to buy their own supplies for this. It's like, bro, you pay me to teach. I went and got an education to teach. I'm not an investor, bro. Like, you're basically making them invest in these students, and they're not gonna get no return. It's like, that don't make no sense, bro. Let's see. Teachers. Teachers.
Do you know that every beautiful classroom you see is paid for by the teacher themselves? I spent 6 hours of my own time and all of my own money today trying to make my classroom the happiest place to be because that's so important for me and my students. But buying for 25 kids is definitely the most frustrating part. Do you know that every beautiful class
Yo, that's sad, bro. That's actually really sad. Like, especially because of how like they have to pay taxes and then they have to supply the students material. Shouldn't the school it's called public education, bro. Why is a private citizen having to pay for the materials of students that are in a public school? The That doesn't make sense.
Did you know that teachers are buying supplies with their own money? 94% of teachers report spending their own money on supplies. Just think about it. To teach our children, they are spending their own money. We need to do better. We really do. Did you know that teachers are buying?
Our teacher don't ask for supplies, they say the school have enough. Then teachers need to ask the school where's the money. No, but this is something new, man. This is something that
The plight of the American teacher is actually pretty crazy. The average teacher spends $750 of their own money out of pocket to buy school supplies for the classroom. And you can see that 30% of teachers spent over $1,000. I tried to look up what the average teacher makes. It's obviously very dependent on the state, but this doesn't feel right to me for a high school teacher. This feels kind of high. I mean, the ranges are just everywhere, but it looks like the average starting salary is usually in like the mid to high 30Ks. I feel like this data is probably being carried by teachers that have worked for forever. Just imagine this for like any other industry. Imagine working in tech and they're like, hey, first day of work, you got to go buy that laptop that you need to do your coding job. And you got to buy Microsoft. And you got to buy like Tableau. Like you'd be like, no, I think the fuck's not. Like, I have a friend who has an Amazon wish list basically for her classroom because she would go broke trying to buy it all herself. So the play of the American
I want to replay right here, bro. When she says she's trying to make it like as, comfortable for the students as possible, like that kind of hit me in the heart, bro, because it's like that is something that you want to think about is trying to make the environment a good place to learn. Because I remember me being in school, um, dude, you need a comfortable environment in order to learn, bro. In order to be in a position where you're actually gonna retain information, like you can't be stressed out. And it's like I'm glad that she's thinking about that, bro. That go donate 100K to this teacher.
Shh, don't bother me. I'm having enrichment time in my enclosure.
That's funny. Buying my own personal laminator so I never have to go use the media center and interact with other adults. Dude, adult life's so sad. I like when I saw teachers as a kid, I never thought it was like to them they were just at work and like I just assume all the teachers are like in on this together, you know? But it's like, no, these are just random people with jobs and they probably don't even really want to be around each other. And this meme right here freaking confirms it. So
Wow, I just saved myself a
when you claim the educator expense tax deduction on buying your own supply, damn.
My money don't jiggle jiggle.
Okay, I'm gonna go on a rant as to why teachers or educators end up just buying their own stuff for their classrooms because not that schools or districts don't have enough money, but it's like all the politics that are involved. I'm gonna give you an example. Me and my counseling partner are asking for a printer that prints. We get $1,000 a year in our like spending budget so that we can buy whatever we need. A lot of times it's school supplies for the kids or whatever we need to buy, right? So we're like, let's buy it with our $1,000. We find an Epson printer, the color one, the one that like everyone has. It's like $150 right now on sale at Office Depot, which Office Depot is something that gets approved. But I get an email from the office manager who's calling me right now. I'm not gonna answer. And she says it's not part of the approved list, and the one that is similar or that would be like its appropriate sub is over $500. You know what? It's just so much easier if you go and buy that printer for $150 and don't have to go through all the huffle and shuffle of all that. Not to mention, I just responded with like, I don't care, any printer that prints because we don't have one. And that's gonna probably not gonna come until like November, December.
Dang. Look, oh, my bad. Oh, shoot. Whoops. Check, we're still good? My bad. Whew, my bad. All right. Yo, this is kind of making me sad, bro. Waited a year to be approved on year two of waiting for a said printer. Um, so the teachers often, so I guess so what she said is that there's a budget approved for teachers to have supplies, but it's kind of like, it's like she's saying, the politics. Oh, this printer you can get, but this one you can't get. This printer costs 5 times more though. So you're gonna spend half your budget on this printer when you could spend a tenth of it. And it's like, I get that. I didn't even know that. That's brand new news to me right now. Right now, live on the Hooligans podcast. So, you know what? I kind of want to put together some type of charity thing for teachers because they're already not getting paid as a human being, bro, who's already not getting paid a lot. And it's like being a teacher is probably one of the most important jobs for a society. So it's like, yo, you're trying to do one of the most important things that society needs. And on top of that, they're making it more difficult for you to do that by making you jump through hoops to get the supplies that they should be. Here's the thing: if the school is supplying the building, then they should supply everything else, right? It's not like the teacher's paying rent. Is the teacher paying rent for their classroom now? Is that what's next? The teacher's got to pay rent like a barber? It's like, come on, man. Shout out to all my teachers out there, bro. You guys got my respect, bro. For real, for real. All right, guys, we had one more story.